Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Shrothinator here, and I'm I watched UFC 187. It was on a laptop, and for some reason, like the website I was watching it on was just awful tonight. I missed like chunks of some fights, but I got to see both title fights fine. I got to see like the pay-per-view pretty much for the most part just fine. Um, Benavidez winning, it went kind of exactly how I thought it would. I thought Benavidez was going to get a strong decision on it. I didn't think he was going to be able to finish Moraga no matter how hard he beat him down. But before we get too deep into the pay-per-view, I want to get started on how I did on UFC Pick'em. I went 6-4-11, so 6 out of 11 picks I had correct. So just barely getting over half of them. If Rose's opponent didn't get sick, and let's just say Rose lost, I would have gotten exactly half right. But if Rose won, I'd have 7 out of 12. So whatever, that's irrelevant. We had Justin Scoggins fighting Sampo in the first fight of the night, and Scoggins got a strong decision win. Sampo started to come back. Scoggins landed like this big front kick like from hell. It was ridiculous. Then next we had Makhachev, which it's Islam Makhachev, and his cousin is Khabib Nurmagomedov. So you knew, for some reason in the fantasy, I guess I didn't know who he was before I picked in fantasy. I didn't know who he was until the card kind of started, so I'm like, fuck. But yeah, Makhachev got a strong submission in the second round. I didn't actually get to see that fight, sadly, so I don't know what submission it was, how he looked. I heard he did good. So, and, he fights a lot like Khabib, like almost exactly like Khabib is what people say. So, I'm thinking that he's going to be a big star maybe not a big star, but I think he's going to be a big threat to his division. And then we had Mike Pyle fighting this Covington guy, and I said Covington guy, because I was trying to think of his first name. I had it in my head, then I was like, fuck, I can't remember. But Covington versus Pyle, we had Pyle getting this choke-in that he was so close to getting, but Covington escaped. He ended up getting a unanimous decision over Mike Pyle. It's surprisingly enough Mike Pyle's first ever time going off back-to-back losses. Next, we had Uriah Hall fighting Rafael Natal. And I think Uriah Hall got screwed over, in my personal opinion. I was talking to my buddy, if you guys know Reverend Ghost. I was talking to Reverend Ghost during a couple of the fights. That was one of them. And he said, I think Hall got robbed. I'm like, dude, same. I think it easily went 29-28 Hall. Hall took him down, 3 times? Natal only took down Hall once. And standing up, Hall did better for the most part. The third round, Hall kind of was sure that he was going to win the fight. So he kind of, toned it down a bit. But still, I think he did enough to win the fight. 2 of the rounds at least. But Natal walked away with that split decision. And then we had, by far, I think Dong Hyun Kim's most impressive performance yet in the UFC. Him against Josh Berkman. Dong Hyun Kim got this, he was just controlling Berkman for the most part. And then Berkman, was it in the second round? I want to say it was in the second round. He was beating the living shit out of Kim against the cage. He was just pounding his ass. Just throwing hooks, uppercuts, all this shit. Kim got away, and Berkman kind of just didn't pounce back on him. He didn't really try to do a whole lot with it. I was very unimpressed with Berkman, because Berkman's actually a world-class welterweight fighter. He came over from World Series of Fighting. He lost to Hector Lombard, of course, and then he lost to Doug Kim. But that's 2 top 10 guys in a row he's lost to. So his chances in UFC really aren't hurt. He's just probably not going to get a top 10 opponent again. But Doug Kim actually ended up getting an arm triangle choke in the 3rd round. Very, very impressive performance by Doug Kim. And then we had a fight. I thought John Dodson was going to knock out Zach Mikowski in the 2nd round. I thought the 1st round Dodson was going to kind of get his groove back, and then the 2nd round he was just going to land a big left hand, and Mikowski was just going to be down and out. But it actually went to a decision. Dodson picked up I think a dominant victory. He got more takedowns on Mikowski than Mikowski did on him, I believe. I mean, Dodson's wrestling was great. His striking was pretty good. Mikowski actually landed some good shots of his own. I believe he landed a head kick, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Dodson walked away with a dominant decision victory on there. And then another dominant decision victory, I kind of got into it already, just Benavidez getting a 30-27 decision against John Moraga at the first pay-per-view fight. Now, I really expected Benavidez to do exactly what he did. I didn't expect anything else. I don't really have much else to say about that fight. But potential fight of the year lasted 4 minutes and 41 seconds total. Not just into the 2nd round, no, total in the 1st round. It's it's my vote for fight of the year already. It's Travis Brown versus Andrei Arlovski. Now, for those of you that haven't seen the fight, I pity you. I really do. You need to see that fight. It is absolutely beautiful mixed martial arts. Arlovski, I believe, rocked Travis Brown. I'm not kidding. I think I said Matt Brown before, my bad. But he rocked Travis Brown like 3 times and had him up against the cage, was pounding away at him. I think Brown was on like a knee or 2. Arlovski was pounding at him. The ref gave him a good chance. And then Travis, I believe, is kind of backed up against the cage, and he lands like a big shot to Arlovski, and Arlovski's down. And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what? How the hell did he come back like that? It was like kind of like the Overeem fight, if you saw that Travis Brown fight. But I mean, it was an even bigger comeback than that. But Travis Brown started pounding away a little bit, but eventually Arlovski got recovered and ended up getting the TKO victory. The ref kind of stopped it after a good couple hits against the cage. And that was it for Travis Brown. Now, next was the last non-title fight of the night. Donald Cerrone versus John Makdessi. Now, I knew this is exactly... I didn't think it was going to go exactly how this went because it was fucking brutal. Cerrone, I thought, was going to, get a quick head kick or punch, something like that. He's going to knock out Makdessi in the first round. But he actually did it in the second round with only about 16 seconds left in the round itself. He broke Makdessi's jaw in the fight. He kneed him in the jaw and broke it. Makdessi tapped out because he knew it was broken. He knew he was really hurt. Makdessi was just decimated in that second round with that knee. I don't know when Makdessi will be back, but I doubt he'll be back anytime soon. Maybe at the very end of the year. But next we had Vitor Belfort versus Chris Weidman. I thought Belfort looked pretty good off the TRT, at least decent. He looked smaller, but I thought, maybe just a speed advantage. Vitor got fucked. He got destroyed. Belfort came out swinging, but he landed some shots, and then Weidman took him down, and then from then on, Weidman had the mount and pounded him for like a minute straight and finished him with a TKO there. And then the main event was Anthony Johnson and Daniel Cormier. It went how I expected it to. Cormier was able to take down Johnson, control him against the cage. Johnson landed some big shots, of course, exactly what I expected. But Cormier was able to get away, finally took him down. Third round, gets a rear naked choke win. New light heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hit that like button. Also comment. Let me know what you thought about UFC 187. How did your picks go in UFC Pick'em? If you do counter move, I did horrible on counter move. I don't even want to talk about counter move. the only guy that got me good points was Cerrone. He got me like 110 points or something like that. Everyone else was shit. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Holla at your boy. See ya.